So here's line number 3. Line number 3 is the actual melody of the music. Completely different type of technique now. You've been using your thumb and your index finger and playing what we call arpeggios, really. A chord, and the melody was in the bass. Now it's going to be in the top part of the instrument on the first string and second string and third string. But you're going to utilize this alternating fingering with your right hand that we learned from the very beginning of class when we were doing I am. And when you play these notes, you're going to be alternating your right hand fingers playing rest strokes. So if you remember, rest strokes are the ones that you play and your finger literally rests on the next string, although you want to play it and release. Play, release. Play, release. So these notes here we have to refamiliarize ourselves with the first string and second string and third string to get to know where those pitches are again, because leyenda, we did not use these higher notes. So first part of the melody, interestingly enough, starts with a rest. And the reason that it starts with a rest is because that's how the melody functions when you put all 5 parts together. And I'm going to have a video that has me playing all 5 parts together, which you can do if you had a group. If we were playing as an ensemble, I would designate different people in the class to play each part. So line number 3 starts with a quarter note rest. Then it has 8 notes, and that's why I would count 1 and 2 and 3 and, because I need to be able to hear all those 8 notes, and the melody has a lot of 8 notes in it. So it starts off 1 and, that's the rest, and then on 2, you're going to play E, open E, F, first fret, G, third fret, F, first fret, and then you're on to the next measure with an open E, quarter note. So the first measure sounds like this. When I count 1, that's a rest. As soon as you hear me say 2, you'll hear me play the notes. 1 and 2 and 3 and 1. The next time I say 1, I'm in the next measure. I'm in the second measure, and that measure is a quarter note. And since it's a quarter note, I'm going to let it go for the entire 1 and then the next part's going to come in for the 2 and 3 and. So again, I am alternating. I've chosen to go I am, I. I'm starting with my I finger. You can start with your M if you want, but usually with fingering, you kind of coordinate it to figure out what you're going to do if you're moving from one string to the next. So with this, I'm just going to start with I. So I'm going to go 1 and 1. Now we're on to the second measure. Second measure starts with a quarter note E, then it goes to the second string. And the pattern is sort of reversed. Instead of going this direction, which is up the scale, now you're going to play the second string open first, but then you're going to go 3, 1, open, back to 1. Okay, so the first one was open, first finger fret, third fret, first fret, open. Now the next one's going to be second string open, then third fret D, first fret C, back to open B, and then on the beginning of the third measure, you're going to land on a C as a quarter note. So the second measure sounds like this. The second measure already has an E on 1, okay? So it's 1 and 2 and 3 and 1, and then the B. So it's second, open, 3, 1, open, 1. Now you're on the third measure. So that's open B, D, C, B, So sometimes it's better to kind of hear the couple of the measures together so you get an idea of what's going on. So I'm going to start from the beginning. 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and, okay? So there's like sort of a question and an answer between those two strings. Now, let's see, we're I don't have the music in front of me. Okay, then that's interesting. That's a C, that little click there. Okay, that's enough. Anyway, then next, we're going to go to the section where you're going to be playing an A on the beat 2. Beat 2. So it's going to go A on the 3rd string, 2nd fret, G sharp, 3rd string, 1st fret, back to A, and then you're going to play an open B, then C. So you have A, 2nd fret, G sharp, 1st fret, back to A, 2nd fret, open, then C, and then open after that. So it's okay. So far you have that's a quarter note, C. Thank you, click, or those are messages clicking on my computer, sorry. So that's C, which happens to be the pitch that thing is doing. Then on beat 2, A, G sharp, A, B, C, B, and then you're going to do this on the next, the second beat. D, which is 3rd fret, C, 1st fret, B, open, A, 3rd string, 2nd fret, and then final measure, which would be the 4th measure, you're landing on a G sharp, which is the 1st fret of the 3rd string. So let me go through each measure. Measure 1 is rest, 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 is the next measure, 2nd measure. 2nd measure starts with an E, 1 and then 2nd string, and that's the 3rd measure starting on 1. So the 3rd measure starts with a C, 1 and then on 2 you're going to go 3 and then the next measure is a long one. It's got all 8th notes. C, open, B, D, 3rd fret of the 2nd string, 1st fret, C, open, and then A, and then finally the 4th measure starts with a G sharp, 1st fret of the 3rd string. So I'm going to play all four measures going to that 4th measure. 1 and 2 and 3 and 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 1. That's right in the middle of the measure. There's no repeat sign on this particular line because I repeat the melody all over again by writing it out. So if you've got all of that to the G sharp, then the melody starts all over again on 2 with a high E. And then this actually might be the line that has the chord, the E chord. Again, I don't have access to the actual written music, but I'm trying to do it from memory. So line number 3 all the way across, and I think I'll end with that E chord that I mentioned on the line number 2, but it's actually on line number 3, I think. Okay, E major chord is 2nd fret, 4th string, Second fret, fifth string, first fret, third string. These are the fingers. 3, 2, 1. All strings. All 6 strings. You play with your thumb. Okay, here's the whole line again. Line number 3. Rest starts at 1 and 2 and 3 and 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 1 and yeah, that definitely is the line that has the chord on it, the E at the end there. All right, that's line number 3.